Hello and happy last day of July. I'm looking out at my garden. Rocky is next to me, bees. And we've had a lot of rain, so I've decided to do a garden tour. Well, my garden is just about at its height of beauty. And I wanted to cut my lawn because we've had so much rain that every time I cut it, it seems to grow 3 days later. But if I wait to cut my lawn and for a day where it's not raining and a day that I have the time, I'll never get to a garden tour. So let's do a little tour. It turned out really great this year. And I'll let Rocky say hello to you. I just did a terrible thing. I brought him outside with me and I forgot to close his cage door. I've never done that before. And even though he doesn't fly out of his cage, when he's outside he gets really excited listening to the other birds and he feels the breeze in his wings and everything. And he could have easily flown out. So I hope I never do that again. So here's some of my garden. And here's Rocky. Hi, Rocky. He loves being outside. He's in the shade right now. I think we're going to do our little tour because there's shade where he's sitting. That way I don't have to bring him in and he could listen. And he just loves it. Rocky, I did a terrible thing. You could have easily have flown out and been gone with the other birdies. Peekaboo. Peekaboo, baby bird. Oh, mama bird doesn't want anything to happen to you, honey. You're my baby. It's my baby bird. All right. So, it's very, very sunny and bright. I hope it's not too sunny and bright. I never know if I should film on a day that it's a little cloudy, or if you're gonna get the full view. But here is something called nicotina, and nicotina isn't the most beautiful plant in the world, but it smells amazing. Not like nicotine, but it's amazing. So I want to get that in the ground, but it's already getting flower. So. And my basil, this basil's looking pretty good. This basil's not. And I've got some rosemary and chives. And in the background you could see how the creeping phlox is just really filled in, amazingly. And behind it are some snapdragons that have reseeded and some straw flowers from last year, and then I have new straw flowers this year. So this year I was very fortunate that my neighbor loves gardening also, and she started some straw flowers in her house for me. So I've got some pink, orange, there was some white. I picked the white already. I'm going to dry them out, and then I'm going to get some long wires and glue them onto the wires so that I can make bouquets out of these. And you could do a lot with the straw flowers, but I think that will be really nice to have a bouquet of them on wires. So aren't they pretty? I love straw flowers. They don't look really like anything great in the garden, but they'll stay for years when dried. And I wish I had some white ones, but I picked them, so hopefully they'll be coming out soon. This is a very special coneflower. And as you could see, new ones are, something ate that one. Got a lot, oh, something ate them. Got a lot of critters this year. I have to spray it. Here's one. Yeah, there's some starting. Aren't they pretty? Yeah, when the new ones come up, I'll spray them with deer out. And there's a lot of new. They were so pretty. And sunflowers that I started late. So next month in August, I should have some sunflowers. And I've got more basil. That basil's doing a lot better. It has a little bit more shade. And I know basil likes some sun, but the really hot sun, the leaves start to curl up, as you can see. Leaves are curling up, and I read that that's from too much sun, actually. So, Shasta daisies, I don't like. They look really nice when they first come up, and then they get ugly. It's just my opinion. Yeah, we've got dahlias. These have not bloomed yet. I can't wait to see what kind of dahlias these will be. The hibiscus still have a lot of buds yet. And it rained yesterday, so they're all droopy. How huge and beautiful they were. But I have to spray them every other day with deer out because it's like catnip to deer. All right. So here's some happy faces. Got some beautiful dahlias. And more dahlias. The bees go wild over the dahlias. Isn't that one pretty? I've seen up to 3 bees in the center of one dahlia. Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Can you see how small that pine is? This pine was smaller 1 year ago, last year, 1 year. Let's move over to the zinnias. These are specialty zinnias that my neighbor ordered, and I planted them directly in the ground. I seeded them directly in the ground. The colors are beautiful, multicolor. how big this is. Here's my hand. Here's my hand. That's how big this zinnia is. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful. Every day when I get up in the morning, I come out to see who else has appeared and what they look like, because it's a surprise to me. She had packets and packets and packets of zinnias, and I just like took a few from each packet and just don't know what I'm going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. Gee, I hope you can see these colors good. I think it's kind of bright. So beautiful. So beautiful. Here's a dahlia, smaller dahlia. Here's one that hasn't bloomed yet. I can't wait to see what these are going to look like. It will be a surprise. More zinnias that are just getting ready. Feverfew. That's the feverfew. It's really, really nice for your bouquet to put the feverfew in between your flowers. It's really nice. It's ready to open up. California poppies, which just reseed every year, and they kind of are taking over everything. I know a lot of people say, oh, I can't grow California poppies. Well, once you start to grow them, you can't get rid of them. But they're pretty. More zinnias. More. I love them. Zinnias are fantastic because when you cut them, they stay for a long time. I'd say a good 4 days, 5 days if you change the water and you cut the ends of them every day. And these two I bought. Believe it or not, see how there's so much, let me see. They're so much shorter than the ones I planted, self-seeded. And I bought these two in the front because I was afraid I wouldn't get any zinnias. I never self-sown them before into the ground, and I thought I might not get any. And to my surprise, I guess the conditions were right this year. I mean, just lots of rain, lots of heat, and they exploded. This is going to be cute. Cute. It's going to be cute. And then, whoop, there's a butterfly. She gave me some, my neighbor gave me some gladiola bulbs, which I never planted before either. And, oh, look at that. Stunning. One's going to come out. Can't wait to see what color. I can't wait to see what color these are going to be. This is the super blue lavender. It already had one really good bloom. I didn't cut them. I let all the pollinators get them, and I cut it back, and I'm getting another bloom of the super blue. And this is English lavender, which I didn't cut either. I'm letting, oh, hello, dragonfly. Where, I can't, it's so bright. I hope that you can see the dragonfly. Hello, dragonfly, you're pretty blue. Hello. Hello, you're so pretty. You're just gonna sit there for me on the gladiola. Hello, baby. Hello. You're so sweet. He's not even afraid. Oh, so that's going to be let me zoom out. Hello. You can see the English lavender, and more gladiolas are getting ready to burst open. And this is my planter with Proven Winners petunias, and they're beautiful, but if you don't deadhead them, they get scroungy. I just don't have the patience or the time to bend over, or the back to keep bending over and deadheading them every day. But all right, so we've got more snaps that just reseeded. This is Queen Anne's lace. Lots of Queen Anne's lace this year that reseeded itself. And that dragonfly is, I'm going to bother him because I wanted to show you, this other gladiola, but I think I'm going to dragonfly. Let me see. Well, we don't want to disturb him. So there, can you see the colors in that one? Aren't they beautiful? Yeah, really beautiful. Lots and lots of bees. I mean, it's loaded with bees, butterflies. My neighbor and I are all about pollinating and giving the pollinators some really good plants this year. So I did expand my garden. Where you see the hibiscus, I expanded it out so it could include the zinnias and the dahlias, because she said she was going to give them to me, and I was like, I have no room, and I had to make room. And this is to my friend Frank, gave me years ago for these giant anise hyssop. And they're, they look like weeds, but once they open up, see the fronds on the top? Once that opens, it's like a light purple color, very light, and they are magnets for the bees, just a bee magnet. And these black-eyed Susies just reseed themselves every year. I don't have to do anything, they just come up all by themselves. So going down my driveway kind of slopes down and gets higher where my garden is on the top. And then down below here, I've got all wildflowers that I didn't plant this year. Those are all wildflowers that just reseeded. So you've got the cosmos are starting to come up late this year, but and then don't ever plant mint into your ground. Plant your mint in a container. It's invasive, and I haven't cut the flowers off the top, and you could see that there's all kinds of insects in the flowers. The bees really like the mint top. I keep pulling them out and cutting them, and they're really invasive. So the cosmos are going to start. These are all from other years. And the Queen Anne's lace is all from other years. And I like the Queen Anne lace to pick and put in my floral bouquet also, but they get like a dust. After about 2 or 3 days, it's like these little white things come off and it makes like a dust all over. So like, they're great, but for two or 3 days before that starts to fall off. I planted, well, these are old blanket flowers, and I don't have to do anything with those. But I planted more zinnias in the ground, thinking I wouldn't get any. And now I've got so many. And I just bought, I went to a thrift store yesterday and I bought a lot of little vases for 25 cents for a vase, the small ones. And I'll make little bouquets and give them to family and friends, because I've got so much and I want to share, because what is the sense of having all this if you can't share? Yarrow, it's another thing that can get really invasive, the yarrow, if you don't take care. In between there's all the ground cover, some black-eyed Susies, and all right, so then, boy, oh boy, I was supposed to clean up here, and I herniated a disc in my back. It probably was herniated, but it's really acting up now, and I went and I got an x-ray, and I have to go for an MRI and have an epidural because it's really been bothering me, and I need to get out here and clean this up. I have to cut my own lawn and weed whack and everything, so I do that. It takes me a couple days with my back, but this is really heavy work to mulch in between. And there's something blue in there. I don't know what it is. It's a wildflower, but I'm not going to go in there and get it because I've gotten ticks this year too, and I've already been on a round of doxycycline. I didn't have Lyme disease, but as a preventative, because the tick was on me for a while. In New Jersey, it's tick central. All right, so we've got some cosmos that are just starting, and they do attract the little yellow finches. There's some kind of little seeds in these, and if you cut them and you bring them in the house, you'll have the little seeds all over the place, but the little yellow finches love them. So that's wonderful. And what are those? So pretty. More pretty wildflowers. I think it's so pretty this year with Queen Anne's lace and the wildflowers. A lot of white going on mixed in between. I like it. And I've got to check myself real good when I get out of here. Make sure I don't have a tick, and they're so tiny. You just never know. Some more echinacea cones that just came in from a wildflower pack. And they just come up every year. I hope everyone knows about the Queen Anne's lace. There's something called poison hemlock that looks similar to it. So just be careful that you don't have poison hemlock if you have something that looks like this. But do remember that Queen Anne, let's see if you can see, I'm going to zoom. Can you see it has like little hairs? Very little hairs on the stem. It's got a hairy stem. Maybe you can't see that. But if you look close, it has a hairy stem and there's no blemishes. And that's Queen Anne's lace. Poison hemlock does not have hairy stems, and they have like little mottles, like brown spots. So Queen Anne has hairy legs. That's how I remember it. Has hairy legs. So as long as Queen Anne has hairy legs, we're good. We're good to go. Wow. What a mess here. And oh, the balloon flowers. I have to spray these too today. This is another deer magnet. Aren't they pretty? A friend of mine pulled them out of his house, his yard, 2 years ago. And his look terrible, but mine are doing great here. They just like it here. They're beauties. They're beauties too. Hello. Hello. They're beautiful. So this is one way I think I hurt my disc. I started to lay down cardboard, and then on top of the cardboard I got some nice cedar mulch, and I was going to do all of this whole thing. Ha, ha. Well, I got this far and I hurt myself. So now I've got all this mess that hopefully when I get the epidural I can finish and throw the rest of the mulch on it. But as for all of this, no, I'm gonna need help. I get way ambitious and, well, you know, I have the garden dreams, but not the garden back any longer. I've got, what do you call these, caladias? See, we used to call them elephant ears. And my friend who gave me all the other flowers, the dahlias and the zinnia seeds, and the gladiola seeds, tubers, she gave me some of those. I had no idea. I thought they were a different kind of a bulb, and I just kind of planted them randomly. So that's why they're in there randomly, because I didn't know. And snapdragons in between. And then I've got another dahlia down here. And of course I planted these randomly. And here's the hyacinth bean. Oh gee, I can't see. I hope you can see this in the sun. But this is the hyacinth bean vine, and I hope you can see how big it got. And then on the top it's got all these beautiful flowers reaching up towards the sun. Oh my gosh, I do love this vine. I really do. I'm going to save these. This pod is already, oh, big bug. This pod looks like it could be taken in the house. I'll just dry them out and plant them for next year. They won't winter over here, it's too cold. I think they'll winter over in zone 7 and up. Yeah, 7 or 8 and up, the winter over, but not, I think I'm zone 5. So pretty. You know, nothing's planned really, it's kind of like snapdragons just came up again, and all the wildflowers came up. Can you see the amount of wildflowers? This is why I'm trying to make a path so I can get through. And I'm really hoping for next year to get this done so I don't have all these weeds. All right, so I've got, it's like a little stone step, which I wish I had a railing on. And got Rocky, who's in the sun. You can only be in the sun a little while. I should actually take him out of the sun. Come on. We don't need a fried bird. There. I'm sorry, Rock, but I don't need you to be Roast it. We don't need you roast it. What was that movie with Betty Davis? Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte? Was that the one? Or was it Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? She was Baby Jane Hudson. And she took her sister's parakeet and roasted it. I know it's disgusting, but every time he's out in the sun, I think about that. No, we're not going to do Baby Jane Hudson on you. No Baby Jane Hudson's here, Rock. So the Andromeda is still doing excellent, that I took out from the front and repotted. I have a video on that, and they can go in the ground in the fall. Yay, yay. Oh, that coneflower. That's kind of spectacular. It was just a little tiny thing last year, just spectacular this year. And I like this yarrow. It's a nice color. The yarrow is really nice. If you have a nice color like that, it's nice for your bouquet. That and the feverfew. And I did not plant these snapdragons. See all these snapdragons? These just are not planted. They just reseed it. That's fine. I'll take it. It's so sunny out I can't see a thing, so excuse me if I'm not doing a good job here, but I hope that you can see most of it. And oh, this is nice. Can you see? There's the bean, the hyacinth bean. So cool. I'll take you around back. It's nothing spectacular, but yeah, this was all supposed to be done. I was going to do this whole thing in cardboard and mulch, and I have a little pathway with gate that you could barely see. I need help. Okay, so my dear neighbor gave me, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. It's a vine, and it comes in orange and yellow, and it's climbing up the orb, and I think it's gorgeous. And then I planted some nasturtiums in between, because when I first planted the vine, it was so tiny, I didn't think it was going to take. So I was like, okay, this pot is big and it needs more. So it doesn't get enough sun for the nasturtiums to really flower all that well, but this vine, which I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it. And then I put some impatiens in it also. And the impatiens are looking, because it rained so much, but they're like the lacy impatiens. They almost look like a little rose. Yeah, that's really, really pretty. Really, really, really pretty. I'm so happy the way that came out. And then I have a little set. So sometimes I sit here and just look at that, and the hostas and the ferns, and it's beautiful. It's just my thing. It's just something I enjoy that my back isn't cooperating with too well. So, because I watch my neighbor's cat when she's away, she repaid me. I told her not to give me anything, and she repaid by buying me this limelight hydrangea. I just put it in like ago, and it's flowering. I'm shocked. It's flowering. It's first year with it. So, and I was really afraid it wouldn't like it here. Do you like my vintage chair? It's not a rocker. Some of them will rock, or some of them will spring on them. It's very uncomfortable, very, unless you have a cushion. I have a cushion for it. For me, it's uncomfortable. So I put a cushion on it. But I just spray painted it. I thought that was pretty cool. I got it at an estate sale. It was outside. Nobody wanted it. It was black and rusted. And so the guy said, $20. And I'm like, okay, for $20. But it wasn't rusted through, just surface rust. So, yeah. Yeah, my backyard is very, very sparse of flowers because there's not enough sun. But I do my deck because I love to sit out on my deck. And every year I do the planters on my deck with sun patience and creeping Jenny. I'm really, really happy with the colors that I chose this year. This is like a cherry, a bright cherry sun patient. And I really like the darker leaves of this sun patient with this like new green color of the creeping Jenny. I think that looks really pretty. I'm really happy with this color of the cherry. And oh, well, the Gerber daisies are doing great, but they don't look great now because they're done and I have to cut them, but hopefully I'll get more. But since I got them, I've had like 2 Gerber daisies that look nice all the time, but we've just had so much rain. So I'm sure I'll get more in. There's new growth. I just have to cut them. So I put 3 planters on the deck. So when I sit outside here, you know, looks really nice and from my window, and Rocky is always looking out the window. He gets to see it too, and he likes it. And I put this hydrangea, has always been in a pot, and it's got one really nice bloom. The other ones aren't too great. And I gave this poinsettia to my dad, I would say about 10 years ago. My dad passed away about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. And I took it, and it got really, 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 really tall, like really, really tall and spindly, and I cut it way, way, way down. And that was a great move because now it looks really good. And in the fall and the winter, it'll turn red. And look at the moss. I love this moss. I don't know how it happened. I didn't put the moss in there, but it's like the best moss in the world. It's like a thick, soft, beautiful green carpet. I love it. And I also really never had luck with a hanging planter here, but the petunias and I put the Proven Winter petunias along with the creeping Jenny and then some more sun patience, and I'm kind of liking it. It doesn't get much sun, but I don't know. What do you think? Not bad? Not bad, not bad. Not bad. Kind of pretty. So this is my back deck, and I don't really want to do much with the yard, except the limelight hydrangea. Maybe I'll plant the other hydrangea and then old fence in the back through some of the ostrich ferns. I mean, if I had my druthers, I would do the whole thing in hydrangeas, but I don't think it gets enough sun. Even for the smooth hydrangeas, I don't think it gets enough sun in most parts. And let's make sure Rocky is okay. Hello. is called a silver mound. Yeah, it's lost in the weeds. Nice. Rocky? He's okay. He's okay. So, that's it. That is, so far, my garden this year. If you want to see an update to see what the other dahlias are going to look like, because I just don't know. They're getting ready to open up. And put it in the comments if you want me to do a short video and show you what the other dahlias are going to turn out to be, and also the gladiolas, what color the gladiolas are going to be. I don't know. I'm thinking they kind of look pink to me. They might all be pink and yellow. I don't know. Maybe I'll get an orange one. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. They're so pretty in here. I don't want to cut them. I guess if I had like maybe 20 of them, I would cut one and bring it in, but I don't have that many. And I'll tell you what I would do them all over again. I would put tons of them in here if I had more room. So that's it. That is it. My mom passed away in the fall, and that's her bird bath. She loved to garden too, so I'll always remember her. Well, I'll always remember her, but every time I look at her bird bath and that little fairy on the mushroom, I think of her. And I think that she can somehow see my garden, maybe. Maybe she's watching over me in the garden. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this little tour. It's been relaxing for you to watch. I wish a monarch came and stayed. He did come, but he didn't stay. It's nice to watch him. Lots of critters, lots of bugs. All right, Rocky's in the sun. He's got to come out of the sun now. Have a great last day of July. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.